Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. Uh, I would be discussing about the formation of yoga and the cancellation of yogas in a generalistic way. There are many doubts with regard to how a yoga is formed because in the definition, as per the classical text, it is not very precisely detailed with regard to the number of degrees between two planets or three planets or the combination, where it has to be placed, in which particular degree of the Rashi Kundali or anything like that. But here, the problem is whether a Buddha, for example, I'm just taking Buddha Aditya Yoga for reference here. Whether Buddha Aditya Yoga, that is when Sun and Mercury are placed together, not very close together so that Mercury gets combust. Let us say that Mercury is more than 5 degrees from Sun. Usually I consider 3 or more than that as okay for Mercury, because Mercury is always very close to Sun. So considering this Buddha Aditya Yoga, the classical text defines Buddha Aditya Yoga as when Sun and Mercury are both in one Rashi or one sign, then Buddha Yoga happens. But here, what if Sun is at 1 degree in Gemini and Moon is at 29th degree of Gemini? That means between Sun and Mercury there are 28 degrees of gap. That is, that there is a huge gap between Sun and Mercury. 28 degrees. It's as good as one Rashi. The orb of influence of Sun extends to only 15 degrees on one side, and the orb of influence of Mercury will extend only at around 7 degrees from one side. So that means they both are not matching or even having any influence on each other. When both the planets are not having any mutual influence on each other, how can a yoga be formed? This is a very uh, big doubt which has come up in many texts and earlier texts also. In the thousands of years, people have been contemplating on all these things. So, a better solution is to understand that if Sun and Mercury are in one Rashi and then close to each other. So now another doubt comes up, like if Sun is in Mrigashira second quarter, that is Dusra Charan, in let us say Taurus, and Mercury is in Mrigashira third quarter in Gemini, because Mrigashira splits into two pieces. The first two charan, that is the first two amshas of Mrigashira, falls in the 8th and the 9th amsha of Taurus, and the second two amshas of Mrigashira, that is the third and the fourth, fall as the first and the second of Gemini. So here, if Sun is posited in the second and Mercury is posited in the third, and both but are split because they change rashis, do you mean to say that the yoga doesn't happen at all? Or there is no influence between Sun and Mercury? Why do we draw lines between rashis unnecessarily? This is only for a human understanding, that even every 30 degrees there is a line. But what if we take the whole sidereal wheel, that is the 360 degrees, into one big concept? Then there would not be any lines in between rashis. So Sun and Mercury will still be able to give that Buddha Aditya Yoga because of their proximity. So that means if Sun and Mercury are placed close together without Mercury being combust, and there is a mutual influence between Sun and Mercury on each other, then Buddha Aditya Yoga exists wherever it's placed. So we need to take a lot of charts and try to understand how this yoga manifests in the chart before unnecessarily telling that the yoga happens or the yoga doesn't happen only because of a fraction of a degree. People are totally confused. The cancellation of yoga also, people are confused. Like for example, the Buddha Aditya Yoga, as I have mentioned, let us say it is happening in the first 5 degrees of Gemini, and the first 5 degrees of Gemini, the opposite to it exactly will be the first 5 degrees of Sagittarius. What if Rahu, or sorry, not Rahu, let us say take Saturn. What if Saturn is posited at 29 degrees of Vrishchik Rashi, that is Scorpio? It might be in the Rashi Kundli in the 6th house from Sun or 6th house from Mercury, but with regard to the longitudinal distance between Saturn and Sun and Mercury, it is very much within the 7th house range. That means Saturn has full influence over Sun and Mercury and it cancels the yoga. We think we only by seeing the Rashi chart. An astrologer should not get limited to the Rashi chart, because the longitudinal placement of Saturn, which was directly opposite to Sun and Mercury, would cause total damage to that particular yoga. And if the astrologer will not consider it, then he will give a result for the Buddhaditya yoga in a very positive sense, depending on the Lagna anyway, in a positive sense, and tell that the yoga is fantastic, he's going to become that, that's going to happen, he's going to go there, he will do this, he will do that, you will get this money, you will get a lottery, all sorts of XYZ, without considering the cancellation of the yoga. So, a yoga formed and a yoga cancelled has to be totally verified by understanding the longitude of the planet and the aspect of the planet from that longitude, and then understand whether the yoga is fully working or not. Thank you.